Hello everybody and welcome back to Last Epoch. In today's episode we're going to be using our Void Knight to try to get some stuff done. As a matter of fact, we'll go ahead and do the first couple of these missions here since I don't really have any echoes that I particularly want to be doing. If you've been following me regularly... Hold on, I'm trying to remember what my abilities are here. If you've been following me regularly, you know I keep kind of going on and off again with this game. I like the game, but like everybody says, it kind of has the problem that games like Elite Dangerous have. It's fun, but it stops being fun very quickly, and there's really no good solution for that. And it just kind of is what it is. Like, I personally like the world in this game better. I like the gameplay. For the most part, I like it better. I feel like it's a little bit faster and more snappy than Path of Exile 2 is. But unfortunately, at the same time, it's like...
Safe travels.
Like, you kind of... When you're looking at this, you're kind of hoping that the game is going to be like the happy medium between, say, Diablo and Path of Exile. Like, that's what you kind of want it to be. A little bit too far in the direction of Diablo, it feels like sometimes, where it's like, you know, you're able to get through the maps pretty quickly. Like, I don't know. I don't want to spend forever on a map, but I also don't want to feel like I don't know. It's hard to put into words in a way that doesn't sound contradictory. I want to get through maps consistently, not necessarily super quickly, just like the speed at which you go through maps in Path of Exile 2 when you're not having any issues is what I'm looking for, right? I kind of want to just feel like I'm on autopilot when I'm playing the game, but I also don't want to feel like I'm just like the maps are just completely trivial. And this game falls more into the feeling like it's kind of trivial side of things. And that's where I run into issues. And it's like my whole Elite Dangerous issue. It's, you know, I like the game, but it gets boring. And it gets boring because it's too easy. And then I agree with people when they say that, you know, it's too easy up until the point where you get into the hard version of the echoes at the end, and then it's like, oh my god, this is really hard, and I haven't ramped up, like, it doesn't ramp up slowly enough for me to, you know, stay on top of things. And then you end up going through it, then you end up having to put a bunch of time into, like, figuring out gear all at once, instead of being able to just move on and, you know, continue playing the game. Like, for me, I like when the graph just kind of goes up in a solid direction. I don't like it when you're going up and then all of a sudden it just goes straight up for a second, and then you have to stop your forward progress to deal with, oh nope, now I don't have the gear or levels or whatever to deal with the problems that I'm having here. Now I have to go through and figure out a problem. Like, ugh. I just want to continually play. I want these games, these grindy loot games. I want them to be mindless time put into the game. I'm not looking to be challenged, but I'm also not looking for. I also want it to feel like I'm accomplishing something, right? Like, I feel like there's a happy medium somewhere where, you know, you feel like the time you're putting in actually matters, right? You feel like the time you're putting in actually matters, but you're not running into random situations where it's like, now all of a sudden you run into a wall of difficulty. Like, that's irritating. That's irritating to me. I need to make sure I start using that a little bit more. What does this do? Summon a symbol that orbits around you. I don't remember. Whatever. I don't know. I think you guys get what I'm saying. I'm just having a hard time putting it into words. I want it to be just difficult enough that it feels like I'm actually, you know, accomplishing something. Because, you know, you don't want it to just be handed to you, right? You want it to feel like it is taking a little bit of effort. but I don't want there to be these random spikes in difficulty like I experience in Path of Exile 2. Like, it's the random spikes in difficulty that get on my nerves in that game. 95% of the time, Path of Exile 2 is pretty awesome, but you run into those random spikes in difficulty, and it's like, dude, I'm just trying to get the map done. I just want to get the map done. I'm not interested in having to stop and figure out this boss. I'm not interested in having to stop and figure out this random pack of monsters that has this unforeseeable combination of modifiers on it. I just want to get the map done. That's all I'm looking for. Can I just get the map done, please? But you don't want it to be so easy like this is, where you don't even, like, I don't even have to think about what I'm doing right now. I can just charge into monsters and not even have to think about anything. And, you know, to some extent, it's like, okay, you know, it's better than just dying because, you know, a random thing happens that just really sucks. Like, obviously, I don't want that either. So, I don't know. I think that if Path of Exile 2 smoothed out the difficulty curve a little bit, and if this game bumped up the average difficulty a little bit, I think that both of these games would be... I think that both of these games would be right in the sweet spot for me, at least. I think that's where I'm at on that. Okay, so I think, yeah, we're gonna have to do a couple more echoes to unlock this last one. Where's my center here? This is my center. Let's go do this one, because I could use some... No, I don't need experience points. I'm always on the lookout for affix shards and the runes. So I think what we'll do is we'll go to this one because it'll give me some affix shards. We'll do this map, and then I'll probably be out of time, so we'll figure it out. Fortunately for this particular character, my little orbs that keep popping up here make it so I can more or less just run through the mobs and not have to worry about things too much. Just drop down this Void Strike, or Devouring Orb? What's it? It's a... Erasing Strike. Just drop down Erasing Strike every once in a while. And for the most part, that seems to work out just fine. Oh, dropped a relic. I'll take that. And then we'll pick up the chest here. I don't even really know what I need for these characters at this point. That's why I'm not really picking anything up, because I don't really know what I need right now. I need to sit back down and figure out what each of my classes was needing and what they're leveling up towards and like all that stuff. Because it has been a little bit since I really focused on this game. But as I just said in one of my recent videos, you know, sometimes you just got to play the games that actually get views, you know, and this game gets views, so I got to play this game. As boring as it can be sometimes. I was recently making a point. Oh, we can just go ahead and move on because we're done. I was recently making a point in one of my Elite Dangerous videos where I'm like, I just play this game because, you know, it gets a lot of views, and sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to get the view, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Okay, that's not really how I wanted that to go. That's kind of annoying that it did that. Do we have enough? We need to do another one. Oh. Okay. Well, then let's just do this one then. So what do we need to do? Slay enemies to locate the skittering gate. So mostly, I have to stop myself from doing the whole we need to kill everything on the map thing, because we don't really need to do that in this game. It's not really necessary. It's more necessary to just complete the echo and move on. Hey, we leveled up. Very nice. So now we just need to head over to the Skittering Gate. Sorry, Skittering Gate. It's not the Slithering Gate, it's the Skittering Gate. Let's head up this way. Erase our dudes there. And we just run around and let our orbs do most of the work, occasionally tossing down that awesome erasing strike that erases everything nearby. You know, kind of in the name. It's kind of in the name. All right. So, and that takes care of that. So we'll hop out of here. And then, unfortunately, I have to hop off now because I have somebody coming, and that it means I need to move on. But Void Knight, I believe I'm working on this here so we can get out to that there. So let's go ahead and do that. And that's going to go ahead and do it for today's episode. So hopefully you guys had fun. Be sure to click the like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks, where you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with that thanks button. I also have PayPal and Patreon links for those of you who prefer to go outside of YouTube to help out with channels. So again, I feel like my camera got moved around a little bit. So again, thanks for watching. Be sure to come back for our next video, and I'll see you then.